I can't be without you. 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 I can't be without you.
So guys, I'm just finally popping back in, and I'm saying popping, but it's literally been 6 months. I got a comment from a person. I can paraphrase the comment. He was like, "That's great. I loved your video. Can't wait to hear about it." And that was like, I think in January or February of 2023. It is now August 2nd, and I'm just getting back. Just really briefly, this has been the most hectic summer probably since 2019 for my family. We have a little guy who's 6, and due to COVID and all of the different various restrictions, a lot of his activities in life have been put on hold. So I'm happy to say this has been the summer of catch-up. Really, it began, not ketchup like that you put on your french fries, but catch-up, C-A-T-C-H. It really started in February, and it has been going nonstop since just now. We came back from student orientation for my 9th grader. I'll spare you all the multiple details, but suffice it to say, he's gone to Monster Jam Live. He's gone to Hot Wheels Live. We took him to Orlando, Universal Studios Orlando, spent 3 days there, and this little guy met his idol, Optimus Prime. We went to Jurassic Park area and stayed there for half the day. And on it went. Swimming, going to see friends, going to see Spider-Man. And I can't even remember all the stuff that he got to see and do. But this was his summer. We've had our mini summers where we've gone abroad as a couple, my husband and I, and we've gone to 17, 18 different countries. The girls have done multiple things. They've had a wonderful childhood. But as they're almost 14 and 16, it's his turn. So this summer was his turn, suffice it to say. Now, on to the new BMW 2023. So way back in, I think it was January. I actually have to look back and see. I'll correct it on the video. I believe it was January 2023. I told you all we were headed out to get our new 2023 BMW X7. And we did. We got it the very next month. We had to order it. So I'm going to probably break this video up into 2 sections. I'm going to talk about the ordering process, and then I'll just tell you about some of my favorite parts of the BMW X7. So the ordering process, I'll start with that first, and then we'll talk about the other different things. I would recommend ordering. Oh, y'all see my Bumblebee t-shirt? Bumblebee. That's my little boy's favorite next to Optimus. Optimus is his favorite. Bumblebee is his second favorite. So he got the t-shirt with everyone on it, and I got Bumblebee from Universal Studios because he was my favorite from a kid. Anyway, back to the car. So the ordering process was so amazing, and I'm just going to quickly compare because, like I said in videos past, I am not a hater. I like the Range Rover, the Land Rover, the Range Rover by Land Rover. I think that the new sports package that they've created for the Cadillac Escalade really has bumped it up and put it in the running with more sporty looking high-priced SUVs like the X7, like the GLS, like the Range Rover, because those cars already had kind of a sports package, whether you got the M or whether you got some of the bells and whistles similar to the M, like on the X7, or whether you got the souped-up AMG GLS. The Cadillac Escalade really, like me and my brother have always said, it looks like an SUV dressed up with a tuxedo on. It's very luxurious. It's like a yacht on the inside. I mean, it's beautiful, but it doesn't really look sporty. So they've bumped that up with the sport look. So all of the SUVs out there right now give you the option, or all the ones I looked at, all of the luxury SUVs I looked at, they give you the option to put the sports package on. You know, the flared mud flaps. You got some the cargo carrier rack on top, the blacked out rims. You got that option just about in all of the luxury SUVs now. which really puts them in competition with each other, and they all look really, really good. But I really enjoyed the process of getting the BMW X7. I had a wonderful experience. They roll out the red carpet for you, and it's an amazing experience. And that's just our small one up there in Atlanta. I really enjoy the people. They are well trained. They can answer every question that you have, and that means a lot to me. I will say I've gone to other dealerships. When I went to the and I don't think I said this on my previous video, so I'll give you a little rundown on this. When I went to the Land Rover dealership here in Atlanta, and I won't call any names because every dealership is different, but I went there and I spoke with a gentleman, and it seemed to me like he could care less whether, he couldn't care less whether I bought a car from him or not. He was dapper dressed, he was handsome, he smelled good, he looked the part, but he was kind of like, I don't really care. Because at the time when we were looking January, February of 2023, everything was on back order. So I understand that as a in his defense, he probably was frustrated to continue to answer the same question. And in both scenarios, whether it was the Range Rover Sport, or the Defender 130, he was like, yeah, that'll be 9 months. Think about it, guys. By the time 9 months has passed, and it's September, you're looking toward what's coming out for 2024. So I'm not at all, interested in waiting that long for 2023. But according to him, and I didn't go to every single Land Rover dealership, but according to him, that's how long it took. Now, I thought one thing is, well, maybe he was saying that to deter me so that, if you're really, really interested, you'll put your money down, you'll buy the car, you'll wait for the car to arrive. And those who just kind of knock themselves out of the running, it automatically makes the pool smaller. It makes the time shorter. So that at the end of the day, those who waited out the full time might be pleasantly surprised that they didn't have to wait 9 months. But the way he presented it really turned me off and made me say, you know what, it's not worth it. Yeah, I like it. It's really pretty. The interior is nice, things like that. Had a lot of nice safety features on the Range Rover Sport and the Range Rover and the Defender. But it wasn't worth waiting 9 months. So then, I had a really bad experience with the GLS by Mercedes, where they tried to pull the wool over my eyes to sell me a full price GLS, as in snake, GLS 560 it may have been. I don't remember exactly, but it was a pretty top of the line. It wasn't an AMG, but it was a higher fully loaded GLS Mercedes, their flagship SUV. Beautiful white, beautiful interior, and took me through almost the process of having signed on the dotted line, and then they tried to throw in at the very end that it was used. So they wanted me to pay upwards of $99,000 for a car that had been driven by their head dealer, that was used as their test-driven car every single time a person came because they had such low inventory, which that part I understand. So a few things I understand, a few things are unacceptable. If you have low inventory and that's the only one you have in stock, then that's the only one you have in stock for people to drive. They also gave the option to order, but at the same time, if you did decide to order, you had a wait list, but it wasn't nearly as long as the Land Rover lot, and they would check the inventory to see if there was something coming off the truck that maybe had been ordered and a person decided not to pick it up. So all that was fine, and I did have that option, so they didn't keep that from me in a deceitful way. The deceitful part was presenting the car as a new car, and then, oh, by the way, it's got 10,000 miles, which I could see. And I'm looking going, well, if it's 10,000 miles, that's a little bit fishy. And, oh, yeah, by the way, it's used. It's being sold under the used tag and not the new tag, but they weren't taking anything off. It'd be different if they were saying, yeah, this is used. This is 10,000 miles already on this car. And, so as a result of that, we'll knock off $10,000. They were selling it for the exact price that they were selling the brand new one for. Because they were actually showing me two. One that was about to come off the truck in about 6 weeks, and one that was there that I had test driven. And the prices were exactly the same. And if I'm not mistaken, the one that had 10,000 miles on it that had been test driven was like $500 or $600 more. Well, if you know anything about me, and you may not know, I like new cars. I'm not a used car person. Just a preference. But if I were going to buy a used car, I at least should know that I'm buying a certified used car. And you shouldn't be trying to pull the wool over my eyes and trying to get me to the very last second where I'm signing on the dotted line. And, oh, by the way, this is going to be a used car. just put a bad taste in my mouth. So needless to say, I didn't do that. I called my dealer down at the BMW lot. So here's how it begins with the ordering process. One, they had to be just as honest as every other dealer in Atlanta has to be. Hey, this is how long it takes to build a car. This is how long it takes to order it. From start to finish, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks. But so when I first called, I got a very well-versed, intelligent man who could answer all of my questions. He was very well equipped on anything that I asked. I called him. I said, hey, we're looking for a BMW X7. He was honest. We have this many on the lot. These are the colors. This is what they're equipped with. You can come down and get one right now today. I didn't like any of that. He said, he went straightway to option B. He said, or you can build one. And he said, and if you build one, here's the outline. Here's the protocol. This is what you do. So I was asking him certain questions about certain features. And anytime I asked him a question, he was answering just like that. He knew his stuff. And that gave me confidence to go ahead and order over the phone. I did not even need to go down to the lot. I already had been familiar with BMW. I loved it. I love the drive of the car. I think it's the best of the luxury SUVs. Someone can grapple with which one looks the best, but I think that as far as under the hood, there's nothing better than a BMW. So long story short, he took some of the preliminary information, and one of the things you have to do is you have to put down a deposit. I think it was a $2,000 deposit. It was a $2,000 refundable deposit. That was another thing. I don't think every dealership has a refundable deposit, but you have to put down a deposit if you want to order the vehicle, because you have to put it in motion to get it ordered. This particular gentleman held my hand through every single process, every question I had, every concern I had, every fear I had. He answered and solved the problem. It took, I believe, 5 or 6 weeks, I don't know exactly, for the car to arrive. So far, it's been a very reliable car. It's a very beautiful car to look at, and it's a wonderful car. You know, if you decide to decline once it arrives, or halfway through the process you decide to change your mind, we won't cancel the order. We'll let it go ahead through. We'll give you your deposit back, and we'll sit it out here on the lot, and it'll be bought before the day's end. So that gave me confidence too, to know that I'm not the only one that loves it. There are people out here that really love this car. It's a very popular car, and it's one that people enjoy driving just like I do. So it makes the demand, in my opinion, go up just a little bit. As humans, we like to like things that other people like. So when you know that someone else likes it as much as you do, that makes you feel even more secure in saying, well, I guess I'll go ahead and put that down payment down, or not the down, I keep saying down payment. Go ahead and put down that deposit to get it ordered. So for the remainder of the video, I'm going to show you the actual process of how to build your own vehicle on the BMW USA side.